I have no interest in competing with the likes of people from the left who project themselves as human rights lawyers. That's not what I wish to do at all. Because then human rights becomes a career. Then there is a direct commercial interest in it. That's not what I'm interested in. I wish to be able to, and that's what I've been doing so all these years, which is as a commercial litigator, I draw heavily from my practice. And those forensic skill sets, the ability to put forth a point of view on the basis of facts, comes from that training, right? And bring it to bear on our causes. So therefore, the conscious decision to step back. And I believe that if you really wish to increase the stakeholdership, because it relates to the community, sometimes it's best for people in different places to take up those matters. I'll give you a fantastic example. I don't know how many people have paid attention to this. There's this young advocate by the name Jagannath, who's filed a petition to the Supreme Court in relation to Udayanidhi Stalin's nasty statement on sanatan dharma. And the Supreme Court has issued notice. These are the voices, these are the kind of voices that you must produce more and more as a community, so that there is what I call a larger increase in the stakeholder base of people who have a direct skin in the game, right? One person constantly turns up for everything. One, there is a fatigue that sets in. Two, I'm sure that we need more minds, a fresher pair of eyes, and more people to join in and say, you know what, maybe this can be done differently. Every person, no matter how much they try, they have their own style, they have their own technique. It may or may not work each time. You need to perhaps employ different options. And I've never grudged the fact, or I've never had a problem with more people jumping into the fray. So that's one. So to answer your question on how do I balance my professional commitments with my dharmic commitments, one, I try to follow a certain regimen in my personal life to the best of my abilities, and it's something that I've learned with time. It's not something that I've always been cultivated with, because I think every family goes through its own. In our generation, I think we were all trying to earn money because we were on the wrong side of the, let's say, the middle class barrier, on the lower side of it. So it takes a while to actually understand the importance of culture, because until then, culture is part of your childhood as a matter of upbringing. It's not a conscious decision, oh, I'm doing this for something. I've been asked to, I'll do. And most of us grew up in joint families. So if there is a Sunday bhajan, all of you are sitting together. If there's a festival, you're all celebrating together. Although I don't know what is the ultimate impact of the nuclear family on the Hindu way of life. But I think the one thing that it has certainly done is that, one, it has taken away what you have always taken for granted, and you have started questioning the fundamentals, the most basic aspects of, let's say, a Hindu way of life, which you've taken for granted, have become questions of esoterica. You're esotericizing something that should have been a matter of practice. So on the personal front, I try to relive those aspects of my childhood. Two, I'm very clear that I'm in love with the law. I chose this profession for multiple reasons. One of that is also to contribute to some of these causes, but I love the subject. It takes up a lot of my time, at least 16 to 17 hours a day. So I try to take only those matters on the dharmic front where I know for a fact that I can do justice, or I can bring to the table which is slightly different and which will have an impact. So if that hyper selectivity is the cause of concern or criticism in some quarters, I'm not answerable to anyone except to my own conscience.